My name is Divya Sumikra. My metric number is P130631. I will be answering the question number 1, which is asking about if there is no any whistleblower policy in that organization, what is the next or alternative course of action that we can take to solve this issue. And then the second one is advantage and disadvantage of choosing this action. So as a in my opinion, I think the caller should pursue the proper action under the Whistleblower Protection Act. Actually, this Whistleblower Protection Act is an act that promotes disclosure of information about any misconduct in any organization. And this act also can give a protection to the whistleblower from any act prejudicial effect of disclosure has been made. So and then since the caller has the suspicion on the CFO and CFO on the misstating the sales and receivable in that company, he can contact the Whistleblower Protection Act by email or phone. So they will assist the caller by arranging the separate team to investigate about this case. So maybe they know how to handle this situation more wisely than us, because than the caller, because they know they have dealt so many cases like this before, so they know how to solve this case smoothly. So the caller should lodge a complaint either in verbally or in writing, but mostly we encourage to put the complaint in writing, because it can use in any of the court case in future. So it can be evident to prove that this thing was already complained by certain people, so they can use the complaint in writing as the evidence for that fraud happened. So and it is also required to provide information in good faith and basis of honest and reasonable ground at the material time. So that means the party that they are complaining, which is the caller, if the caller party that we are complaining must be responsive and communicative. If let's say if the caller go and complain to any of the police station, they might think whether we need to proceed to handle this case or not, because this they will be thinking, because the CFO is a big person in that organization, maybe they are scared to handle the case. But if let's say the caller go and inform to the Whistleblower Protection Act, they know how to communicate and respond to that caller, so they will be advising on the what step we should take to solve this case, and idea to avoid any fraud case happen in the future also. Actually, there are so many benefits in choosing this option. The first one is good protection of confidential information. Confidential information about the organization. Since we are reporting directly to the Whistleblower Protection Act, they know how to protect the information given by the caller, and then they also can protect the caller from getting any bad thing happen to her. So they are know how to protect the information from the organization. They know how to protect the whistleblower also. And then the second one is they actually if we choose this option, we also can prevent so many criminal action that can happen in the future in that organizations. And the disadvantage of choosing this option is, since it is involving the Whistleblower Protection Act, they will be taking some time to solve the case because they have to set up some team to investigate about this situation. And then, and the second is disadvantage. If let's say the any of the enforcement agency come into the organization, the reputation of the organization also will be in risk. So it can affect the employees or stakeholder of the company also, because if any of the enforcement agency, something like SPRM or any agency that come to check our credibility of that organization, it might affect the organization, because we are working there. As since we are working there, our reputation of the organization will be gone, and then we can also lose so many customers from that organization, because they have no belief factor in that organization. They will be having a doubt in that organization. So we also might losing some supplier or customer from the organization. And then if we think about the employee side, some employee also will be losing their job, will be leaving the organization, because they should protect their credibility also. So we might also lose some employee from the company. And then the second question is we asking about the recommended steps to be taken to establish an internal whistleblowing policy in the caller's company. Okay, actually, to create steps to establish this internal whistleblowing policy, actually we can create a whistleblowing committee with the representative from the management, internal audit, risk management, and human resource. Actually, we need to get one person from each person from the all of the department. This is because the if we create one committee and then all the committee is from the one department, we cannot control other department. We cannot we are not know what is happening in other departments. So we should take one representative from the each of the department. So in this case, we need to take the one representative from the sales department, one representative from the HR department, one representative from the internal audit department. So they, if let's say we came to know if any fraud happened in that company, we can, as for example, if any of the employee came to know if there is any fraud happening in that department, they can directly reporting to the relevant representative from that department. If let's say if any of the salesperson came to know there is a fraud happened in their department, they can directly report to their relevant representative, which is from the sales department. So I think they should create a whistleblowing committee which involve all the department, and then from creating all the department in one whistleblower committee, we can also communicate each other if about any fraud happening in that organization or in that department of the organization. So they will be giving some idea to prevent any fraud happened in that relevant department. And the second step is to create a whistleblower committee is explicit term of reference. Actually, what they are going to tell is, sometimes we create a committee but we don't know about our own role and responsibility. So as a whistleblower committee, we should be informed about our roles and responsibility, so that we can perform our duties in that relevant committee, so we can improve our job as an whistleblower committee also. So I think it is to create a whistleblower committee to explicit term of reference, which is to inform their relevant role and job in that committee. The third one is whistleblower committee should educate all the staff member and variety of channels to report any suspicious activity. Actually, sometimes we have some committee, but the members are not informed about the way to reporting, which is way to complaining if there is any fraud happen. So the whistleblower committee from the each of the department also should educate the staff by having any 1 hour meeting or seminar to educate them how to, if there is any fraud happen in that organization or in that department, how we should act to solve this issue, and then how we should complete to how we should complete to variety of channels. And then from this they came to know the way to handle any fraud situation in that department. So they will also can prevent so many fraud in that department. And then we also make sure that the higher management should not interfere in the whistleblower committee department. So in this case, the CFO and CEO itself are doing the fraud in that company. So if let's say this whistleblower committee must be not relevant to the management level. So it will be no any fraud that we this is because if the management level person is involved in the whistleblower committee, sometimes if let's say the management level did any mistake, we will find difficult to complain about themselves into the committee because they are higher position in that organization. So and then organization and the committee also. So we cannot open up or voice out our opinion in that committee. So we should make sure that management is not involved in our whistleblower committee. So we should avoid them participating in committee. This is not we are hating the management level. This is also can prevent their intervention in our whistleblower committee, and then from this committee we can communicate each other to solve this case also. So and then we should also as a whistleblower the whistleblower committee also need to plan for the reward. If let's say if any of the whistleblower find out any fraud in that company, they should be given with any reward, because if we given a reward to them, so they will make sure they will feel motivated to improve the efficiency of that committee. So if let's say we complaining about some fraud in that company, and then we are not motivated to improve the efficiency of the committee. So if there is any fraud happen, and then the whistleblower is came to know if there is any fraud happen in that organization, if any of the whistleblower has find out and report to the whistleblower committee, we should reward them to give them motivation to improve the efficiency of the committee and the relevant department. So it is also can prevent some fraud happen in the future also. And then the last one is a routine assessment and the revision of the whistleblower committee consent policy. Actually, I will suggest to give them monthly assessment questionnaire to all the staff in that relevant department to give the rating about the whistleblower committee, whether they are acting in a efficient way or not. Sometimes we have some committee, but that committee is not actively involved. So we should give them any questionnaire, any form of assessment, routine assessment to get to know whether this committee is active or not, or this committee is taking any action on any fraud happened in that company. So for the question number 1, these are the answer for my question number 1A and B. So I will be proceed my answer for the question number 2 in next video.